You back to Black Site tonight. We're going to talk about Halle Berry's ex saying she did not cook clean or had maternal mother instincts. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. Halle Berry's ex-husband on a podcast, David Justice, spoke about his marriage to Halle Berry when he was young. If anybody remembers who David Justice was, he was a superstar baseball player for the Atlanta Braves America's team. He hit a walk-off home run during the World Series. He was a superstar at the time. And he married Halle Berry, this young, beautiful, vibrant superstar. But when he got into the marriage, he saw some things he didn't like. He said he was used to growing up in the Midwest when his mother cooked clean, took care of the family, and he didn't see that in Halle Berry. She didn't cook, she didn't clean, she was an actress. She was probably away from him quite a bit making films. So he said he wasn't used to it. Plus, he said this was his second relationship he was ever with a woman. True relationship. So this was tough on him. And he found out after a while it couldn't work. He believed that she truly loved him, but he felt as though that she wasn't the woman for him. He didn't believe that she had maternal instincts of having kids. Yes, Halle Berry, I think she has 3 kids now by several different men. But at that time, David Justice didn't believe this was the woman for him. He eventually got married in 2001 to a white woman. I think he has 3 kids right now. And this has been over 30 years ago. It's been a long time because this was one of the superstar couples at the time. Kind of like Jay-Z and Beyonce. A little bit lesser, but they were a superstar couple. But I was surprised that the question came up because David Justice have done a multitude of interviews where he rarely even talked about Halle Berry. So the question was asked, and he truthfully answered the question. Now he's being dragged all over the internet by women. I saw Nino Brown dragged him, didn't even know who David Justice was. He wasn't some scrub husband. He was a superstar athlete with a big contract. He made millions of dollars in baseball. Matter of fact, at that time, he was making more money than Halle Berry. That's how much money David Justice was making. So this whole thing has been blown out of proportion because of what he said. I don't think he meant harm because he answered the question and he answered it truthfully that this wasn't the woman for him. And Halle Berry has been married 3 times. So I think she married Eric Benet and she married the other gentleman she had her last child by. So when Halle Berry gets married, you know eventually it's possibly going to be a divorce. And I think she's going with this guy now, a singer, Vaughn something. She's going with him and they've been together for 5 years. Maybe that will work out. She's 59 years old. But I do know this. He truthfully answered the question. And cooking and cleaning is very important in a relationship. You know, a way to a man's heart is a good meal. When a woman puts a good meal on the table, man, that man loves that woman. Yes, I know there's plenty of modern day women who feel as though they don't have to cook clean. All they got to do is put on makeup, dress up, and that should be enough. I'm here. But that's not it. This is why there are so many women who are not married. Then women will say this. Well, all these women who lived that way, lived in loveless marriages, they had to put up with this for 40 and 50 years. But some of them didn't. A man provided for his family, a woman took care of the house. Well, man, he got into something that he did not understand. And maybe that's the reason why they got a divorce. He's still kind of mad over the fact that they may have thought he abused her or he cheated on her, which he said he didn't. For all I know, David Justice was considered a good guy throughout his career in baseball. Everybody liked David Justice. You never really heard anything negative about David Justice. But now that he's given this interview, now he seems like the bad guy. He shouldn't be complaining because he married Halle Berry. But all these women that you see out here have pluses and minuses. Beyonce says she can't cook or clean at all. Jay-Z has to put up with that. So you got to understand, because she's beautiful doesn't mean that she's a good woman. Because she's beautiful and makes films, is in Hollywood, that she's a good woman. She may not be. She may have some mental deficiencies, some personality deficiencies that we may not know of, but the men who have been involved with her may have seen those deficiencies and walked away, because most of the men have walked away. So we got to give him a break for wanting to express himself and tell the truth as he sees the world. She could come out and say that she sees the world a whole different way, their relationship a whole different way. So why is David Justice taking all the heat for speaking on this podcast? Because most women feel as though you should be happy that I am in your presence. But that wasn't good enough for David Justice. Wasn't good enough for Eric Benet. It wasn't good enough for her last husband. So they might not be the problem. She may be the problem. And I know a lot of women don't want to hear that. Because she's beautiful, that should just be enough. Because she works a lot, that should be enough. Because she makes films, that should be enough. Because she won an Academy Award, that should be enough. But it's not enough to hold a good man. If that's what he is, I don't know. Only she can tell us that. Only his wife, who was with him for over 20 years, can tell him that. I don't know. But at that time, he felt as though those two could not mesh. They were unequally yoked. So he did the right thing. He separated. He got a divorce, which was good for both of them. She went on to win an Academy Award. He went on to be a great baseball player for the Atlanta Braves. That was good. So there shouldn't be any anger, especially within the social media concept, that each of them have their own opinions. But he's taking heat right now. Oh, the women are killing him right now. So I would love to hear your comments in the comment section. I want to thank you for listening to BLACKSITE. Hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button, but also share this video.